Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share some thoughts and experiences that have shaped how I approach life, learning, and even breakfast. Yes, breakfast. These are lessons I've picked up over the years, and I hope they inspire you to reflect on your own journey and maybe even try something new. Let's dive in. So let's start with learning. I've spent a lot of time in school, and while some of it felt like it could have waited until later in life, it happened when it happened. But here's the thing. While I was getting a textbook education in business, I was also learning some of the biggest lessons about life. And honestly, it took me a couple of decades to fully realize that. Recently, I came across an old book from a project management course I took years ago. It got me thinking. I'm managing a lot of projects right now, and even though I'm more experienced, I could probably use a refresher. Sometimes revisiting the basics can help us work smarter, not harder. And you know what? Some of the smartest people I know figured out life's essentials early. Things like managing money, buying a home, and saving for the future. Why don't we teach these things in elementary school? Math, for example, is so important, but so many people shy away from it. It's not about being a math genius. It's about understanding the fine details of life. Oh, and here's a side note. I think we could all benefit from learning social graces and etiquette. Imagine a world where we don't feel the need to minimize others to feel good about ourselves. Education doesn't have to be overwhelming. It just needs to be intentional. Whether it's turning a hobby into a business or learning how to garden, these skills can enrich your life and even save you money. Speaking of learning, I've been writing on Substack every day to refresh my skills and get feedback. It's become one of my main projects, and it's been such a rewarding experience. I've been including it as part of my content creation, but I know I need to bring my artwork back into the mix. Life is all about balance, right? Now let's shift gears for a moment. I want to talk about faith. A while back, I was reading Exodus, and something really struck me. The relationship between the Most High God and the children of Israel. It's so intimate, so full of love. But the Israelites often struggled to reciprocate that love, and it made me think about my own relationship with God. For a long time, I had this image of him as this distant, demanding figure. But the truth is, he's a loving father. I mean, he gave his son as a sacrifice for us. That's the ultimate act of love. But sometimes fear and doubt creep in, and I find myself spiraling into worry. Recently, I had one of those days where I felt completely overwhelmed. So I prayed, just a simple prayer, and almost immediately I felt restored. My circumstances hadn't changed, but my heart had. Here's the thing. Our strength comes from the joy of the Lord. The enemy wants us to focus on our past mistakes, to keep us feeling down and vulnerable. But when we stay focused on the Most High God, we can weather any storm. So if you're feeling lost or overwhelmed, reach out to him. You'll be glad you did. Okay, let's lighten things up a bit. Let's talk about breakfast. I'm a night owl and my husband is an early bird, so I usually prepare his breakfast the night before. But lately our oven has been acting up and it's been a challenge. Instead of baking my usual muffins, I've had to improvise. First, I tried cooking the muffin batter in a cast iron skillet. And guess what? They turned out amazing. They were crispy on the outside and moist on the inside. Then I tried baking the batter in a cake pan on the stovetop. It took forever and the bottom got really brown, but it worked. Honestly, though, I think I'll stick to the skillet method. It's faster and the taste is just perfect. The whole experience has reminded me to trust my instincts and get creative when things don't go as planned. So thank you, Broken Oven, for the lesson, but I'll be thrilled when you're fixed. Life is full of lessons, whether it's through education, faith, creativity, or even a malfunctioning oven. The key is to stay open to learning and to trust the process. Don't be afraid to try new things. Revisit old skills or even pray a little extra when you need it. If any of this resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. What's a lesson you've learned recently that's changed your perspective? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.